Hey everybody, it's Party Elite with another episode of Total Breakdown. Today we see ElWuanndaxoLoco lead Bretonnia against IVDelta's Beastmen. I apologize if I butchered either of those names. We begin, as always, with a conversation about composition and deployment. You can see the Beastmen do try something a little bit sneaky off to the side here, while Bretonnia keeps things somewhat simple. Let's start with Bretonnia. ElWuanndaxoLoco is in charge up in the air alongside these Royal Pegasus Knights who will bring some anti-large support to the field. The main line consists of these alternating units of Battle Pilgrims and Spearmen at Arms with shields, and that's not a bad call at all. If anything like Minotaurs come crashing through the front line, you do want to have a little bit of anti-large support nearby. This Damsel of Heavens will provide magical support, while at the back here, 2 units of Peasant Bowmen, one with Pox Arrows, will provide range support. And they're kept apart wisely so that if anything comes crashing through the front lines, they will be able to support each other if necessary, while we also have this unit of Spearmen at Arms with shields, and this unit of Men at Arms with polearms able to protect these Peasant Bowmen as well. Then, on the right, we have a pair of Grail Knights over here, able to bring in that anti-large support as well, to the front line, to the back, or of course, bring in some rear and flanking maneuvers for some extra morale damage as well. Now let's take a look at the Beastmen. As I mentioned earlier, they are trying something a little bit clever, but first things first, let's talk about the main lines over here. We are with a Beast Lord in command alongside a Bray Shaman of Death atop a chariot, so that'll be interesting against Bretonnian infantry. The front line consists of 5 units of Ungor Spearmen Herd, and then right behind them on either flank we have a unit of Minotaurs with shields. That's a great call. The shields will protect them from range fire, and they'll be crashing through the front lines, causing a ton of damage, while in the center we have a pair of Bestigor Herd between them. Then we've got, all the way at the back, a unit of Gore Herd on either flank as well, and to the right here, 2 units of Senegor with throwing axes, hoping to get some range damage in, some support against airborne units, while the Chaos Warhounds, the 3 of them, in the trees, nice and early, able to sneak through the woods, but you'll see as we start to take a look at everything breaking down, as it were, a lot of aggression from the Beastmen right away, pushing down the field, revealing the position of those Chaos Warhounds from the get-go, so not really staying sneaky, but some interesting thoughts in mind at the beginning at least. The Senegor with throwing axes pushing in towards ElWuanndaxoLoco, hoping to get some damage done early on, not a bad call at all against enemy leadership, while the Peasant Bowmen are responding by pulling off to the side, and you'll see as the Senegor with throwing axes begin to damage ElWuanndaxoLoco, the Peasant Bowmen open fire and begin to damage those Senegor. Meanwhile, the 2 Grail Knights over here have given up their original position and moved off to the side to help intercept those Chaos Warhounds if they decide to get too adventurous, while ElWuanndaxoLoco and the Royal Pegasus Knights are pulling away from that dangerous situation of anti-air support from the Senegor with throwing axes. You'll see the front lines, meanwhile, are about to engage, while the Grail Knights here continue to push back, and you'll see the Battle Pilgrims here are sent forward one at a time to charge into the incoming Ungor Spearmen Herd. Now, the Spearmen could have also been sent forward to respond with a charge of their own, but it's just a charge bonus of 4, so it's not the end of the world, but their charge defense, their bracing is only against large foes. But in go the Battle Pilgrims, you'll see charging in, doing a decent bit of hurt against the Spearmen on the other side of the field, but you'll see the Minotaurs come crashing through, left flank first, right flank next, and they do a devastating amount of damage. These Battle Pilgrims do not stand a chance. They absolutely get butchered by the Minotaurs, very quickly losing both their will to fight and their lives, so their ability to fight, I suppose. So you'll see they do fall apart pretty quickly there, and meanwhile at the back here, these Grail Knights are pushing in to try and provide some support and intercept these Chaos Warhounds, actually. As they try to get away from there, you'll see one unit does get intercepted, but the other 2 are able to get away and look for rear charges now. Look for opportunities to come in from the rear, while the Senegor with throwing axes are able to find this gap here and push through very cleverly into melee against the Peasant Bowmen. You'll see the Spearmen try to intercept, but unfortunately they're just a little bit too slow. In come those charges, completely devastating those Peasant Bowmen. Very well played. Meanwhile, you'll see up front we have Aspect of the Dread Knight bringing in some terror support, bringing in some leadership support, and from the Damsel of Heavens we also have the wonderful Comet of Cassandora doing a devastating amount of damage to the Ungor Spearmen Herd there, but unfortunately also doing a severe amount of damage to the Spearmen at Arms, dropping their health, dropping their will to fight, and you'll see they very quickly wish to turn around, while on the left flank there, you'll see the Battle Pilgrims are struck by terror. Thanks to Aspect of the Dread Knight, they do turn around and give up as the Senegor back here with their throwing axes charge into the Damsel of Heavens, hoping to shut down any more magical support. The Chaos Warhounds also pushing in, trying to charge into some of these Peasant Bowmen, trying to shut down any of that range support, while the Grail Knights here, of course, responding as well, getting a wonderful rear charge into these Chaos Warhounds on the left over here, while the Royal Pegasus Knights are able to dive into the Senegor with throwing axes, hoping to once again take care of those very threatening cavalry units. You'll see these Warhounds over here taking care of Peasant Bowmen with their Pox Arrows, while the Spearmen now are able to push in as they hope to take care of these Chaos Warhounds and hopefully remove them from the field. Back here, meanwhile, you'll see the Grail Knights have completely shattered this unit of Chaos Warhounds and now are able to push in to the Senegor with their throwing axes. Again, Grail Knights are anti-large, so the Senegor, who are supposed to be a ranged unit, really don't stand much of a chance. At the same time, over here, you'll see ElWuanndaxoLoco getting very involved against the Beast Lord, popping the Sword of Guron, reducing his melee defense, reducing his armor, and diving in there, trying to shut down enemy leadership. And that's a very good call. You always want to try and shut down enemy leadership. The morale damage is very significant. Meanwhile, the Brave Shaman over here atop his chariot, trying to dive into some spearmen, but then deciding not to. Wisely so, no need to dive into some spearmen. And you'll see ElWuanndaxoLoco actually takes to the air, is hit by Spirit Leech. Maybe should have stayed down there against the Beast Lord, but the Grail Knights do push in to try and provide support against those Minotaurs. Again, Minotaurs are large, Grail Knights are anti-large, so that's a great call over there, but the Ungor Spearmen Herd are right there, able to respond, while the Pegasus Knights back here, the Royal Pegasus Knights rather, put themselves into a very dangerous situation. They are giving chase to this unit of Senegor with throwing axes that are in turn giving chase to these peasant bowmen who are firing away at the Senegor with throwing axes. Now, unfortunately, that chain does continue. We have this unit of Senegor with throwing axes that are also giving chase to this unit of Royal Pegasus Knights. So as these guys are flying in to close the gap and try to support these peasant bowmen, you'll see they're going to eat a lot of damage from the Senegor with throwing axes, so not the best of calls there whatsoever. As you can see, they are going to fall apart as they close the gap to those Senegor with throwing axes. Meanwhile, over here, we have a massive waste of resources, unfortunately. We've got a lot of units here, 4 units that are very, very valuable right now that are just standing there. So we've got this unit of Bestigor Herd that could have been sent here to provide support to the Chaos Warhounds against some lowly Spearmen at Arms with shields. Over here, we've got some Gore Herd, we've got some Ungor Spearmen Herd, anti-large, to help provide support against Grail Knights, perhaps. We also have another unit of Bestigor Herd, again, able to push in and provide support against these men-at-arms with polearms. So a lot of resources there completely wasted. Meanwhile, you'll see in the center over here, we do have Aspect of the Dread Knight going in to try and provide some leadership support, because, of course, causing terror isn't going to do much against 2 Grail Knights who are immune to psychology, and a unit of men-at-arms with polearms who are basically at full morale, as you can see. So, a couple of bad decisions there, as ElWuanndaxoLoco gives chase to the Brave Shaman of Death, hoping to, I think, take care of magic, then deciding to veer away instead, and maybe go after the Beast Lord again. Not a bad call. That Beast Lord should be taken care of, and again, you can see over here, the Royal Pegasus Knights, as I said, very quickly falling apart. A bad decision there, and it's, of course, resulting in the death of many a Royal Pegasus Knight. Meanwhile, over here, finally, we have these units charging in, but you'll see the Chaos Warhounds here already have given up. They're on their way out, so the Bestigor Herd just a little bit too late. But over here, you'll see we do get these charges in and finally getting some work done, but again, just a little bit too late. A little bit sooner and more could have been done. The Grail Knights, though, wonderfully charging back and forth, trying to take care now of the Beast Lord, I think, while over here the Senegor with throwing axes able to come back after having taken care of those Royal Pegasus Knights. They're rallying now, but in a very pitiful state, able to come back and provide support once again to the main engagement over here. You'll see they push in, able to throw some of their axes and get some support done, while over here the Grail Knights, again, just diving back and forth, trying to get some charges in, taking care of the Gore Herd, diving into the Bestigor Herd as well, hoping to scare them off, while back here these Chaos Warhounds pushing in, again, looking for a rear charge, looking for the opportunity to maybe dive into some Battle Pilgrims and drop their will to fight and scare them off the field. ElWuanndaxoLoco continues to damage the Beast Lord, while you'll see over here the Brave Shaman of Death charges in atop the chariot, tossing these men-at-arms with polearms aside, but unfortunately ElWuanndaxoLoco turns around, activates the Lion's Shield, and dives in, terrifies the Brave Shaman right away, and the Beast Lord dives in as well, dropping the men-at-arms' will to fight, but ElWuanndaxoLoco is right there, able to turn around and take care of the Beast Lord, which is not a bad call. Once again, take care of enemy leadership as soon as you can. The Bestigor Herd, meanwhile, about to get charged in by these Grail Knights, again being tossed around, their morale dropping, those pox arrows coming in as well, dropping their ability to fight, reducing their capabilities, doing a wonderful job shutting down a very high-tier unit with both of those units of Grail Knights. The Senegor Herd, meanwhile, looking for chances, looking for opportunities to throw their throwing axes into these Grail Knights to try and take care of them from a distance and remove that very threatening unit, removing both of those threatening units from the field, rather. But you'll see the Bestigor Herd there very quickly taken care of, while this unit of Senegor with throwing axes, throwing their axes at some already routed, already shattered units. So again, just a little bit of mismanagement there as ElWuanndaxoLoco pushes in towards the Senegor with throwing axes, and very quickly they turn around, well managed there, turn around, and try to stay alive as they continue to get damage into ElWuanndaxoLoco, again hoping to take care of him. But you'll see over here the Grail Knights very quick to respond, charging in, trying to intercept and shut the Senegor down. You'll see one unit does get into the Senegor with throwing axes, and the other unit of Grail Knights very quickly, very well managed here, turn around and chase after the other unit as they're about to crash into these Peasant Bowmen, hoping to shut them down. As they're just about to crash into them, you see they do rout, and the Grail Knights continue to give chase, hoping to turn that rout into a shatter, just like over here. This unit of Senegor with throwing axes completely shatter between ElWuanndaxoLoco charging in and the Grail Knights as well. They don't stand a chance. You'll see over here the Beastmen are regrouping somewhat in the trees over here, trying to form up a little bit, trying to get leadership nearby, getting the boost from encouragement, hoping to stay alive and stay fighting, because Bretonnia doesn't have much left on the field. You see these Grail Knights over here feigning a charge into the spearmen there, but deciding not to charge into some spears, pulling back. Apart from that, they've got some Peasant Bowmen, another unit of Grail Knights, and of course, ElWuanndaxoLoco himself. So a well-managed Beastman army right now could still come out on top, but you'll see the Grail Knights push in to shut down the Chaos Warhounds as they try to get a charge into the Peasant Bowmen. In come the spears, in come this other unit of Grail Knights, in come the Minotaurs as well, so we're going to have a bit of a mosh pit here, and you'll see the Grail Knights come charging in, hoping to take care of the Minotaurs. Of course, they are anti-large. Minotaurs very quickly giving up on the fight. ElWuanndaxoLoco dives in as well, bringing his abilities to cause fear and terror, popping the Sword of Couron. In come all of these Beastmen units, but they really do not stand a chance here. ElWuanndaxoLoco dives in against the Beast Lord, again hoping to take care of leadership, hoping to drop it by that -16 or so, and just scare all of these units off the field. You'll see terror does start to kick in. We've got those Peasant Bowmen firing away, bringing in that support as well as these Grail Knights coming in with a nice rear charge into these spears. Of course, spears point forward. Can't stick them with a pointy end if they come in from the back, and they're all falling apart. They do not wish to fight. ElWuanndaxoLoco has led Bretonnia well, and the Beastmen now leave the field and return to the forests from whence they came. Very well done by the Bretonnian player here, getting a Pyrrhic victory. Now, both sides were well led in this battle for the most part. The Beastmen anticipated a large ranged contingent and were even ready for airborne units, while Bretonnia was ready for the more or less inevitable large Beastmen units. The Beastmen did very well to punch through both flanks and devastate the Bretonnian front lines. However, they did not come prepared for Bretonnian cavalry, and that was critical to their downfall. At the end of the day, the extremely well-managed Grail Knights alongside ElWuanndaxoLoco's might and terror did most of the heavy lifting, getting over 400 kills between the three of them and routing many more besides. As always, make sure you subscribe to this channel for more Total War content and keep sending in those battle replays. You can see the link in the description down below if you don't know how to submit your battles yet. As always, I do think it's one of the best ways to learn, and it's always nice to highlight great battles from the community. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you on the battlefield.